All right, so hopefully you tried this one. So now we're going to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. And so same process, I'm going to rewrite this as factors. So it's going to be 7 times 11. And I'm going to go ahead and write it 42 over 7 times 11. And then make sure you realize we're subtracting this time. And then this is going to be 2 over 7. And so obviously they have a 7 in common in the denominators. But what is this denominator missing that this bottom has? Okay, well, obviously it's an 11. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by 11. All right, so now we have 42 over 77 minus 22 over 77. And they have a common denominator. So that means they are in love, and we can go ahead and subtract the tops. And I recommend changing this to plus and moving that negative to that 22, but we'll do that in our expression ones. So this ends up being 20, because 42 minus 22 is 20, and then over that common denominator of 77. All right, so let's now apply that to an expression. And hopefully you realize here it says subtraction. So we've got to make sure we subtract those. Remember, your first step is to factor the bottoms, but look, lucky for us, the bottoms are already factored. Yay, we don't have to do that part. And so I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this. So it's going to be 7x over x plus 2, x plus 5. And then we're going to subtract the 3 over x plus 2. All right, so you could have it in parentheses or not in parentheses. It doesn't really matter for this part. All right, so what we're going to do is notice they have a denominator in common, that is x plus 2. So what is this bottom missing that this bottom has? So hopefully you see that is x plus 5. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by x plus 5 because it's missing that. It has it in this denominator. This denominator does not have that. All right, so at this step, what I'm going to do is I like to go ahead and put that negative on that 3, kind of distribute it. And so I'm going to rewrite it, 7x over x plus 2, x plus 5. And then basically I'm just going to put it on that negative 3. So I'm going to put negative 3 x plus 5 all over their common denominator, x plus 2, x plus 5. Once you take that negative and apply it to that number, this now becomes adding. So you basically move that negative up. And we know we need to distribute that because it's in parentheses on the x plus 5. And so this whole thing, and I'm going to kind of do it in 2 steps, they also have common denominator. So we're going to go ahead and they're in love. And so I'm going to write the 7x, and then I'm going to distribute that negative 3 to everything. So it's going to be negative 3x, and negative 3 times 5 is minus 15. And it's all over that same denominator, x plus 2, x plus 5. And then hopefully you realize we have like terms. 7x minus 3x is 4x. I'm running out of space, but hopefully you get the idea. And I'm doing it step by step by step. You could have distributed it right here and cut out this middle step. X plus 2, x plus 5. And that is our answer to that one. All right, a couple more just to make sure we get enough practice. We are going to go ahead and add these ones. Here's the difference. This one, the bottom needs to be factored. So remember, you can do the magic X, what multiplies to 5 but adds to 6. hopefully you know it's 1 and 5. Or you can go straight to factoring, x plus 1, x plus 5. If you are still not understanding that, you need to really come in during async time for extra help, or in small group in the morning. All right, so we factored it. Now I'm just going to rewrite them. So I'm going to put 3 over x plus 1, and then we're adding. So I'm going to put plus, and write this as it's factored. 4x over x plus 1, x plus 5. And hopefully it becomes very obvious. Hey, this has an x plus 1. They already have that in common. What is missing? Oh, well, this has an x plus 5. This denominator does not have that. So that's what we're going to multiply the top and bottom by. And I'm going to kind of cut to the chase here. Since we know this is x plus 5 times 3, I'm going to go ahead and distribute that 3 into that parentheses. So I'm going to write 3x plus 15 over our common denominator. So like I said, you don't have to write the parentheses, but sometimes it makes it a little nicer when you write them. And then we're going to add. And remember, the whole point of multiplying by x plus 5 and x plus 5 is so that now they have the same denominator. So we're going to go ahead, they're in love, and we're going to combine the tops. So like terms is going to be 3x and 4x gives us 7x. That 5 does not have a like term, or sorry, not 5, 15 does not have a like term, so we're just going to bring it down over that same denominator. So it's going to be x plus 5, x plus 1. And that is it simplified. All right, one more, and then hopefully that is enough to help you with this concept. If you need more help, obviously, you can always ask. Last and final one, we are going to subtract those things. So first thing you always want to do is factor. So I'm going to factor the bottom here, factor the bottom here. Remember, you can use the magic X if you want. Hopefully at this point you don't have to, but if you need to, feel free to go ahead and use it. All right, so factors of 6 that give us -7. We know it's going to be -1 and -6. It's going to be x minus 1, x minus 6. All right, factors of 18, that's going to give us -3. We know it's going to be 6 and 3. And through -3 on the bottom means it's going to be a -6 and a +3. Because -6 times 3 is -18, but -6 plus 3 is -3. So this is going to be x minus 6, x plus 3. Alrighty, so hopefully you're getting better at those. And so we're going to go ahead and subtract them. So I'm going to put 5 over all that. And then I'm going to put subtraction minus all that. All right, so in this case, we have two things. So we already know they have an x minus 6 in common, so we don't have to multiply any of them by x minus 6. But this side has an x plus 3. Oops, I erased it when I didn't mean to. X plus 3. And this side does not have an x plus 3. So we're going to go ahead and multiply this top and bottom by x plus 3. Alrighty. And then on this side, this one has an x minus 1. This one does not. So we're going to have to multiply this one by x minus 1. And we're going to go ahead, cut to the chase. We're going to distribute that 5 to everything on the top. We're going to distribute, don't forget to bring that negative to that 2. We're going to distribute that -2 to everything on the top. So distribute, distribute. So we're going to have 5x plus 15 over all of that. Got to write all these factors. and then distribute that -2. -2x. -2 times a -1 is a +2 over all these factors. And once you move the negative up to that 2, this becomes a positive. And they are in love. So we're going to combine our like terms on the top. So 5x minus 2x is 3x. And 15 plus 2 is 17. And the bottom is going to be all that common denominator. I think that, yeah, that's a +3. So hopefully x plus 3, x minus 1, x minus 6. And that is our answer. Whew. All right, a lot going on in that problem, but hopefully after you watch this video, it does help you a little bit more.